At 9 o'clock this morning, I stood in front of the camera and declared that we probably wouldn't see any racing today at all. By 1 p.m, the Supersport race had begun, and we were looking like we were going to get at least a couple of races in throughout the day. So the weather has just been so unpredictable and difficult to actually account for. It's very frustrating for everyone, but we were absolutely thrilled to see some action today because we really didn't expect it. Now in the Supersport race, Michael Dunlop cleaned up pretty much ahead of James Hillier and Peter Hickman. Unfortunately for Bruce, yet again, not the best of days, semi on the pace, and he came home as the first Honda in 7th place. So a good effort by Bruce, but it would appear as though the Hondas just aren't quite there this year. So at the conclusion of the Supersport race, there was a very slight delay as there was a non-racing medical emergency out on circuit that needed to be dealt with, and the sidecars got away a few moments late. The race itself was dominated by the Birchall brothers. John Holden and Lee Kane came home second, and Dave Molyneux wrapped up the podium, his 30th podium in his 50th start, which is pretty impressive. Now, as far as the New Zealanders went today, Roy and Darren had a very good run up until the last lap when they spun at the gooseneck and lost quite a bit of time. Apparently it had started to rain up there on the mountain, and they fell foul of that heading into the gooseneck, looped it, and took a while to get the bike straightened up and head back off to complete the lap.
Way slippery up the mountain. It's bursting down up there.
They ended up crossing the line in 24th, which was a brilliant result for the guys given the troubles they'd had earlier in the week. Unfortunately for the Lawrence brothers, they had an incident at just after Tower Bends where Chris described it as the bike being up on its side for quite some time until it finally gently tipped over. Now, thankfully the boys were okay, and the damage to the bike was relatively minor. There's some fairing damage to be repaired, and also some mounts on the bike and the gear lever. So mainly, fairly minor stuff, but the key thing being there that both of the guys were okay. So at the risk of repeating myself, the weather forecast for tomorrow is not good. We're scheduled to have the first race at 12:45, and then 3 practice sessions scheduled after that. So depending on how things go, hopefully we'll have another good day of it. But yeah, hard to say at this stage, and I'm not going to make any predictions with the weather whatsoever. So it's anyone's guess at the moment what's going to happen.